Good evening, everybody. My name is Diane Auger, and I'm so excited to welcome you to the 25th Annual St. Vincent Swim Across the Sound Breast Cancer Benefit. I'm privileged to serve as the president of the Medical Center Foundation, and each year we have gathered to raise dollars for women in our community who are battling breast cancer. We couldn't be with you tonight, but we're with you live, and we're with you in spirit. And I hope that you're somewhere settled on this kind of dark and stormy night, settled in. Maybe you just had a cup of coffee, maybe you have an adult beverage. I hope that you have friends and family around you and that you enjoy this next hour or so with us. As I said, we're live, so you never know what can happen or who might show up. And you'll see periodically some of us pick up our notes to be sure we don't forget to thank the correct people or keep the program going. It's a real pleasure to be able to have a live stream and share with you the reasons why we raise dollars in this community for women who are battling breast cancer. I'm going to go off the script for a quick second, though, and remind you, if you're watching this and you haven't had your mammogram, make sure you schedule your mammogram. So important. Early detection helps us to treat you correctly and quickly. And so make sure you get your mammogram. And you know what, if you did, call your friend and make sure she got hers. Call your mom, call your sister. We're ready and open to have you screened and get your mammogram. And part of the funds that are raised tonight go towards helping women in the community who can't afford a mammogram. No woman should go without that important screening. So thank you to you that you're watching because you're generously helping us to make sure that women in our community get that important mammogram. As we begin the evening, some housekeeping for you. We do have an auction going on. It's alongside of our live stream. If you've already started to bid, keep bidding. You have until 9 o'clock tonight to bid for all the items that you love. And these items you'll hear about throughout this evening. They're inspired by people who created baskets in memory of or in honor of people that they loved. And so we'll share some more with you, but when you do have a chance, please take a look at the amazing stories behind those baskets. As we begin the evening, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Deacon Tim Bolton, who will provide our invocation. Tim is the manager of pastoral care services at St. Vincent's Medical Center, and he's a special friend and colleague to us. Tim?
Thank you, Diane, and good evening. Having gone through many appointments and treatments these past couple years with my wife for her cancer, we were at a patient access desk one morning making our next appointment. And I noticed a small sign that was next to the attendant's monitor, and it said, "Be strong and courageous," Deuteronomy, chapter 31. This verse showed up for me at a time in my life when I really needed to not only see it, but hear it in my heart. So I thanked her as we were leaving that morning, and I said, "You really saved my life right now." It was really important for me to hear that. I pray with it often. So I offer that to you now to reflect on as we gather, albeit virtually, to pause for a moment in prayer. So I ask you to do that right now. Pause. Call to your mind a moment and maybe your life may have felt a little out of control as you were struggling with your breast cancer, or for that matter, any cancer. That time when perhaps you doubted, you felt alone, you felt abandoned, anxious, or afraid. Was there someone there for you when you needed them the most? Who held your hand? Maybe it was a quote or a scripture verse. Was that person a loved one, a caregiver, or maybe a stranger? Maybe it was someone who has gone before you, whose voice you hear. Can you hear them? Can you see them in your mind's eye now? So we hear from Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. "Be strong and courageous. Have no fear. Do not be afraid, for Yahweh our God is going with you. He will not fail you or desert you." Well, let us pray. O God of many faces, We come before you in gratitude for the swim and all the ways it manifests your presence in our community. Open our hearts and our minds to remember those moments when perhaps we doubted, felt abandoned, were anxious or afraid, only to then realize you are with us all the time, walking with us, holding our hands, reassuring us, giving us the care that we needed just when we needed it. Help us to continue to grow in our ever-deepening trust in your presence in our daily lives, to push through our fears, knowing that you will not fail or desert us, and no matter what reality we may stand in, grant us the grace to be strong and courageous. And we ask this in your holy name, amen. And our next speaker is a man who began his career in medicine in 1975, working in the lab here at St. Vincent's. He also did his residency here, served in private practice in the community for many years, and now serves as the medical director of geriatrics in Hartford Healthcare's Fairfield region. He has been the chairman of the Swim Across the Sound for the past 22 years. His passion and love for the swim and all the good works it does in the community is evident in all that he does. Please welcome Dr. Frank Schifo.
Thank you, Tim, and good evening to all of you. I want to welcome you to our virtual breast cancer dinner event. Very ingenious, a lot of work, and it's come together beautifully. And I want to thank you for your presence here this evening. Unlike this evening being virtual, breast cancer is real. It's so real that I've had to step back several times in my career when I had to share with a woman that they had breast cancer. It's a moment that you never forget, and you can remember their names even after 20, 30 years. And understanding that it's not virtual, it's happening every 2 minutes in the United States. A woman is told, you have breast cancer. And when you think about that, you can only imagine the feelings, the plethora of different feelings and emotions that go through a woman. And you know, as we are experiencing an unprecedented time in history with COVID-19, and we understand all the challenges for our children, for our loved ones, for our parents, imagine being a woman who was just told, you have breast cancer on top of all that. So your presence tonight is such a special gift, and I thank you for that. Your attendance, your joining us, and certainly for the generosity and the beneficence that you've shared with us. It's very important because the Swim Across the Sound is a resource to the community. It's unlike anything else. When families, and it is families and patients, have exhausted all of their resources, whether it be their family, their insurance, what's offered through their plans, and things are just kind of tough, they turn to the swim as a resource. And I'm proud to say that the swim has been there for so many people throughout the years. We have many programs treating holistically body, mind, and soul with yoga and meditation and a lot of ancillary services. And, you know, as we talked about being a family, I just want to share a quick story with you. Years ago during a radiothon, I had the distinct privilege of meeting a family, a young husband and wife who came into the studio with 3 young children. It was during the holidays, just about this time, and they were just devastated. He was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer and she with breast cancer. 3 small children. They couldn't even pay the bills, never mind think about a Christmas tree or anything for the holidays. And they came to the swim to kind of get some basic help. And praise the Lord, we were able to help them beyond that. So it's stories like that that move me, that are the spirit behind my passion. And it's why I'm asking you tonight to be as generous as you can. And I want to thank you for your continued support. Now, I would like to introduce to you a woman who is a survivor and knows firsthand some of the benefit of the Swim Across the Sound. Please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Clarence.
My name is Elizabeth Clarence. I noticed that there was something not right with it in my body, and I noticed there was a lump on my breast. When they did the mammogram, they told me that they saw something like more activities under my arm. So they told me they're going to have me to do a scan to verify. So when they did the scan, they realized that it had gone to my lymph nodes. The Friday when she called me to give me the news, it was not good news. She told me that she's sorry, but the result came out that I'm positive cancer. I never thought cancer would ever be, I would ever gotten cancer. So she was going to make an appointment with Dr. Dimasti Haas. I got to see her and her team. They sat down with me together and they explained to me everything. And she herself told me that she too had breast cancer. When she gave me her story, I felt at peace, I felt at ease. And I said, okay, Lord, I have someone that is a doctor that's going to take care of me, that also had, so she can, relate with me. I felt, that yes, Lord, I got a team that really cared about me and is willing to, to help me out through the cancer process and everything. There were some other benefits, financial benefits, exercising, massaging, acupuncture, swimming and yoga and all of the other benefits that would, So I got financial benefit for my utility bills, my car insurance, and also gift card for food, which I appreciated so much because at that point in time, I needed to change my diet, and it came in handy for me to purchase the food that I needed in order for me to help heal my body. And even throughout the time that I was in the hospital, I was loved, I was taken care of. I'm grateful to God for St. Vincent. Honestly, I'm really, really grateful to God. Words cannot express, the love that I got, the support that I got, the care that I got from my doctors, Dr. Dangel, Dr. Dimasti Haas, Dr. Fong, and all of their staff. It was just fantastic. It was just awesome. And I thank God for each and every one of them, So I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to be in this hospital.
And we thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing that beautiful story. She's a woman of courage. Tim talked about courage. She is clearly a woman of courage and hope and inspiration. And we're privileged to have been able to help Elizabeth and others like her. She represents the women in our community that we're privileged to serve. So I hope that you felt what we did when we learned Elizabeth's story. I am going to remind you that we're live, which is why you might have heard something happening in the hospital. We're coming to you live from St. Vincent's, downtown St. Vincent's. And we are excited to be able to have you join us live. I know people are still coming online. And so since we're live, anything can happen, anything can show up, anybody can show up. And we hope you're comfortable and you are watching us thinking about the fact that if we touch your heart tonight, that you will make a contribution tonight by purchasing a basket, making a donation. There are so many people to thank for pulling this together. We're going to get to the committee a little bit later, but I want to start with our major sponsors. And I'm going to start with the Pauls. Bill and Gloria, I hope you're watching tonight. They have sponsored this as the title sponsor for 25 years. Generous couple who we just truly appreciate you very much. Ginny Fortin, I hope that you are watching tonight. Ginny is a sponsor many, many years over and a true friend to St. Vincent's. The Whittingham Family Foundation, thank you for your support. And Dr. Anthony Dimasti Haas is one of our major sponsors tonight. Anthony is a breast surgeon, the chairman of surgery at St. Vincent's, and a true friend to the Swim Across the Sound and the foundation. Thanks, Anthony, for your support as well. We also have a special award that we're going to give a little bit later tonight. We won't tell you who it's for yet, but it's named for Gigi Berg, who was a member of this committee, chaired this committee for many years, and Aquarian Water Company has sponsored an award in Gigi's name that we'll give to somebody a little bit later tonight. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the Fairfield Region President, a Senior Vice President for Hartford Healthcare, Mr. Vince DiBattista.
Thank you, Diane, and thank you for coming together to celebrate the 25th anniversary of our breast cancer benefit. Your support over the years has helped raise awareness of the importance of early detection, as well as funding to provide support services and financial assistance to breast cancer patients in our community. Thank you for making this our collective cause. This month, we celebrated the one-year anniversary of St. Vincent's joining Hartford Healthcare. We're pleased to share with you that this has been a year of tremendous growth amidst the challenges of dealing with an unprecedented pandemic. St. Vincent's response to COVID-19 was strengthened by being part of Connecticut's most comprehensive healthcare network. Together, we developed safety protocols, set up statewide testing centers, and provided safe, compassionate care. Beyond the pandemic response, St. Vincent's has much to celebrate. We have increased our footprint throughout Fairfield County with more access and expertise to better serve you, including new sites in Stamford, Norwalk, and Milford, and expanding access to care in the Bridgeport market. We've added 170 primary care and specialty providers and increased program development for the Hartford Healthcare Institutes, including cancer, eye neuroscience, heart and vascular, behavioral health, Tallwood, urology and kidney, and orthopedics. We are excited to announce that we have recently signed a formal affiliation with Medical Specialists of Fairfield, a team of oncology specialists that have a long history of partnership with St. Vincent's. These new providers join an accomplished and well-respected team of breast health physicians providing state-of-the-art breast cancer treatments. We'd like to recognize this extraordinary team led by Dr. Anthony DeMestahouse, our chair of surgery, and also a silver sponsor of this evening's event. Thank you, Anthony. Dr. Christopher Iannuzzi, chair of oncology, Dr. Rick Rosen, our plastic and reconstructive surgeon, Dr. Kelly Harkins, our director of radiology services, breast health care. And building on this excellent team, we are proud to welcome Dr. Richard Zelkowitz. Rich will be our keynote speaker tonight and the regional director of the breast program. Dr. Bridget Khalili, director of breast surgery and clinical integration for the Fairfield region. We'd also like to welcome our two new hematology oncology providers, Dr. Vipra Sharma and Dr. Sarah Dost. In addition, we are proud to welcome two new surgeons to the team, Dr. Charles Cha and Dr. Jill Rubenstein. Dr. Cha is a hepatobiliary surgeon recently with Yale New Haven, and Dr. Rubenstein is completing her fellowship in surgical oncology at MSK. These two surgeons will be joining Dr. Imran Siddiqui to form a formidable group of surgical oncologists. And last, not certainly least, we welcome Mardell Lawrenson, director of the Cancer Institute for the Fairfield region, who also joined us this year. St. Vincent's Breast Center has been recognized for providing excellence in treatment and care and was the first in the area to earn the Breast Center of Excellence distinction from the National Accreditation Program for Breast Centers. It has also received the highest level of accreditation from the American College of Surgeons Commission on Cancer. I wish we could be together this evening, but look forward to an exciting virtual event. I'd like to thank you for participating and for your generosity that allows us to meet the needs of patients in our community every day.
Thank you, Vince. Vince, I know you're out there watching. Vince started here in Bridgeport a year ago when we affiliated with the Hartford Healthcare System. I'm sure he did not have any idea what kind of first year we would have together. Vince, we thank you so much for your leadership and your dedication to St. Vincent's in the Fairfield region. And now it's time for me to thank the committee. Lucy Gribach, Diane Mercado, two co-chairs who have been co-chairs for several years together, make this happen. Typically, again, we're together at a big dinner. Tonight, you're together with us virtually. But behind the scenes, that group, the Breast Cancer Committee, led by Diane and Lucy, has been hard at work for several months to put this together and also to come up with this new virtual format. And I want to thank Chris Howard, who is in the audience with us tonight, making this all happen also. Chris, thank you so much for your dedication to ensuring that this went off to this point flawlessly. Steve and Jason from Firelight Media are also right here with us, ensuring that our live stream is working perfectly. So thanks to all of you for everything that you've done. We also want to thank the Pinking of You auction assemblers, donators, contributors. I'm going to share this with you in a minute, this basket to my left. It's beautiful, and I hope you're watching your auction items throughout this evening so that you can make sure you get what you like. Usually when we're at dinner, those of you who have been to our breast cancer dinner know that this is the time when we celebrate survivors in the audience. And so we can't do that tonight, but we'd like you to do that anyways. So if you're out there and you're watching and you're a survivor or you're going through cancer treatment, would you please stand? Would you please let us send you a virtual hug? Would you let us celebrate you and celebrate yourself? And know that we are with you through this. Our prayers are with you, and we wish you continued good health. Before the co-chairs come on to say a few words, we want to share with you the story behind this beautiful basket here. It's called My Italian Hero. And it's a beautiful story that Fedina Boyle will tell you about her uncle, who lived in Frosinone, Italy, hence the name. And he lost his battle to cancer in August of 2020. It's filled with lots of liquor, lots of Italian things, amaretto, sambuca, cookies, pasta, bustello. Fedina's going to tell you why she made this basket in her own words. So let's watch her story.
Hi, I'm Fedina Boyle. The basket I'm donating, The Italian Hero, is in memory of my uncle, Paolo Malone, who lost his battle with lymphoma and leukemia on August 16, 2020 in Frosinone, Italy. My uncle was a hardworking, loving, and caring family man. My fondest memories are the times we spent sitting around the table, enjoying a glass of wine, a bowl of pasta, and many, many laughs. The items I included in my basket are some of his favorite foods, drinks, and sweets that we've shared together during my visits to Italy and his visits to America.
Hello, I'm Lucy Gribach. Thank you, and welcome to our 25th anniversary of our breast cancer benefit and to our first ever virtual event. Thank you, Fedina, for sharing that wonderful story about your relationship with your uncle and the meaning behind that beautiful basket. We would also like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, our donors, our committee members, and to each of you in the audience. We are very proud of our event. It is one of the SWIM's most successful fundraisers, and it is not without your support that we are able to have such a successful event. Cancer is one of the leading causes of death among women, and breast cancer is one of the most frequently diagnosed cancers in women. That diagnosis for some never comes or comes too late. That's why it's so important to have fundraising events such as this one. Through your generosity here tonight, we will be able to provide mammographies for those who are uninsured and underinsured. Also, through your generosity, we will be able to provide financial assistance to those undergoing treatment. The financial assistance could be in the form of purchasing a wig, it could be for a prosthetic, or it could be for medication. It could also help pay for some bills, such as a utility bill, a mortgage payment, or even daycare. The SWIM also provides support groups and counseling for patients and their families. As a two-time breast cancer survivor, I know how important it is not to feel alone. I know it's important to have faith and to have trust, to have a strong group of people around you, family and friends. And I want you to know that the people here at St. Vincent's Swim Across the Sound are here for you. On behalf of all those that will be helped through your generosity this evening, thank you. And I would like to invite my co-chair, Diane Ricardo, to the stage. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Diane Mercado. I've been a volunteer with the Swim Across the Sound breast cancer event for over 21 years. I want to talk to you this evening about the Flowers of Faith arrangements that are being sent to everyone in the community. This year, our Flowers of Faith bouquets include flowers that reflect admiration, faith, cheerfulness, gratitude, and happiness. We offer donors the opportunity to send a bouquet of flowers to a friend, a family member, a colleague, in honor of them or one who has passed. These flowers were delivered to the recipient's home. We are offering this service till the end of next week, so if you're interested in purchasing a floral arrangement and sending it to someone special, please contact the swim office directly. Our silent auction has grown each year, and we're hoping that this year will be no different. We have changed the format of the auction this year and have titled it Pinking of You Silent Auction. As with other organizations raising money, we are struggling. We are trying to raise as much money as we can to help as many people as we can in the community. Even though we're in a pandemic, cancer is still here. It hasn't gone away. I think people need more help now than ever. And we at the Swim are here to help. And that's what our event this evening is all about. This year, committee members and friends from Swim Across the Sound have been building baskets, Pinking of You baskets. We have an example here tonight that was donated by Laura Mazzadra, and it's in memory of her sister-in-law, Pat Quitone. We have many baskets, including this one, available tonight, and you can bid on them at our event. In addition to this lovely basket, we have many others that you can choose in the silent auction event. We also have a lot of donations from local businesses that have been very generous even during this horrible pandemic. So many businesses are also struggling, but their generosity comes through in an event like this evening. So please, if you have a chance, the auction will be open until 9 p.m. tonight. Please take a look and think about the Christmas holiday season coming up and all the wonderful things you can purchase and have donations made in honor of someone and help saving a life.
Hi there, we're back live, and I'm really pleased to be able to have two physicians join us for a little panel discussion. Dr. Richard Zelkowitz is joining us tonight. Rich is the Regional Medical Director of the Breast Program here at St. Vincent's and in the Fairfield region, and Dr. Bridget Killelea, who recently joined St. Vincent's Hartford Healthcare, is a fellowship-trained breast surgeon, and Bridget serves as the Regional Director of Breast Surgery. They join an amazing group of caregivers that have been at St. Vincent's and have helped to augment the physician staff here. So we're gonna have a little bit of discussion, and we're gonna start with you, Rich. Tell us what women need to know specifically now about breast cancer.
So I heard a statistics recently that the diagnosis of breast cancer is 50% less this year than last year. And while I'd like to think the pandemic has cured breast cancer, that is clearly not the case. What that reflects is that people are not getting their mammograms. And I think if there's one take-home message here is, it's safe, get your mammogram, you cannot skip a year. So much of the success that we have had in breast cancer is attributed to early diagnosis. And I can't stress that enough, the importance of mammography.
And let's remind you all that the reason we're raising money tonight is to be sure that no woman doesn't get a mammogram because she can't afford it. And so that's another message out to the people who are generously donating here, that it's important for women to get their mammograms, and we can help them to do that.
Absolutely.
Right. So can we talk a little bit about the team approach? You're a team tonight here. You've got a big team at St. Vincent's that you work with.
So no breast oncologist is worth his weight in gold without the appropriate breast surgeon. So we joined a very stout, successful, exquisitely good group, and we're here to help make it even better. We believe in the team approach, the multidisciplinary approach, kind of, it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes doctors and social workers, and there's a superb group here.
And when a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer, can Bridget tell us a little bit about what does that journey look like?
So usually as a breast surgeon, we're the first one to see a newly diagnosed patient. And we spend a lot of time talking about what kind of breast cancer they have. We outline what the treatment options are, and oftentimes there are options. We like to give a little bit of information about medical oncology, what may be in the future and how long treatments will take. But I completely agree with Rich. We work very closely together. We have such a good foundation and network here that's already been in place for many years. And I think we're both just extremely excited to be here and to serve this community. We can both feel how special it is already and how St. Vincent's has been so welcoming to us, both the staff and our colleagues. And I'm really, really looking forward to what's to come for all of us.
Great. So can we talk a little bit about advances in treatment, maybe both of you, a little bit about the cold cap from Rich?
So the cold cap is very personal to me. It obviously didn't work for me. But you know, we have made so much progress in medications and diagnosis, and there are so many things that go with the diagnosis of breast cancer, and certainly physical appearance is not on top of the list. But in 30 years of doing this, and any patient I've ever talked to about hair loss, about chemotherapy, the issue of hair loss comes up. It's very personal to me, you know, with my mother's experience and her desire to not lose her hair. And one of the things that I insisted that we bring here was cold cap. Cold cap is a technology that really allows a good percentage of patients who receive chemotherapy, mostly women, but also men, to not lose their hair. And that's one less thing to have to deal with as you embark on this journey.
So how does it work?
So basically you put this really cold thing on your head, and it limits the amount of chemotherapy that goes to the scalp, and depending on the regimen, it is very successful. And I have, fortunately, a lot of experience with this, and I think it's just one thing that makes this journey a little bit easier for these patients. So
Yeah, I mean, thank you. As a reminder, part of the Swim Across the Sound programs is a program called Look Good, Feel Better. We all know that when you can feel good about how you look, whether it's your hair. For women, if they lose their eyebrows, there's a makeup lesson. You know, that's funded by the swim. So it's another piece of the donations that are coming in tonight are for opportunities like that for us to serve
right,
women.
and the swim has helped already a number of patients, and we've had some very good success, and we're very excited about the cold cap program.
Great, thank you. Bridget, can you talk a little bit about breast surgery reconstruction?
Absolutely. So one of my passions and one of my clinical interests is doing what's called oncoplastic surgery, which is really using some techniques from our colleagues, the plastic surgeons, to enable lumpectomy patients to look as good as they possibly can, and to save as much normal tissue as possible while still being oncologically safe. Another program that I'm very excited about is starting what we call an autologous tissue reconstruction program here, where we work with our colleagues in plastic surgery to use a woman's own natural tissue to do breast reconstruction after a mastectomy.
Wow. So if we're talking about the swim tonight, as we are, and first I also do want to thank you both for your generosity. You have both been sponsors as well. And so you're helping us to raise dollars, but you also have had experiences with your own patients that have needed assistance from the swim. How does that work for you? How do you help women to make sure that they can access the swim?
You know, again, with all the issues that go with the diagnosis and the fears and the anxiety that go with treatment, thinking about having to worry about paying bills and whatnot is mind-boggling. And in this time of COVID and the pandemic, when people's positions and financial position is a little bit more tenuous, I can't stress enough how super important this is to make this journey a little bit more palatable and one less thing to worry about.
Thank you. Thanks. So anything you want to sort of leave as last words, things that you want to be sure we let women know out there, anybody who's watching?
Yes, I do want to put in one more plug to get that annual mammogram. We know this has been a really tough year for many of us, and a lot of us, I think, have put off some appointments and have postponed getting that mammogram, but we are open and we are safe, and our mammography unit is cleaned and we're social distancing, and we really don't want anyone to put off getting their annual mammogram.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These two physicians join an amazing complement of physicians and caregivers at St. Vincent's. Another thing we typically do during the breast cancer dinner that we can't do tonight is we ask them all to stand. So I know we have a lot of our colleagues from St. Vincent's and Hartford Healthcare watching tonight. If you're out there and you're watching, please know that we are holding you in our hearts here tonight, and we thank you for all the work that you do with patients, including the two of you for coming on here tonight
Thank you for
and
letting us
helping us to do
participate.
this. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. So we're going to have another Pinking of You auction story, and this one is by Holly Sutton Dar. It's in memory of her neighbor and her best friend, Jean Clancy Strobel. I have actually bid on this one, so if you're bidding against me, please stop. I'm going to show you what's in here. There are actually some beautiful hand-painted glasses. We're going to hear Holly's story, and we thank Holly for remembering her friend Jean in this special way.
Jean Strobel was my best friend. We moved into our homes across the street from each other only 3 months apart. We both had a 2-year-old child and another baby on the way. Our husbands traveled for work all the time, so we bonded very quickly. We did everything together with our families, spending holidays, weekends, and vacations together. When my mother became ill, Jean and Barry were always there to help us take care of her. My mother loved her like another daughter. Our families are completely blended. She raised my children and I raised hers. Jean was my children's other mother, and they worshipped her. Jean was a fiercely determined person, fair, kind, loving, gentle, and strong in faith. She was the bravest and most courageous person I had ever seen in her 9-year battle with breast cancer before leaving us on June 2nd, 2017. We miss her every day, but feel blessed to have Barry, a truly devoted and loving husband, and their 2 beautiful children, Colleen and Brennan Strobel, in our lives. We love you, Jean Clancy Strobel.
Holly, thank you for sharing that beautiful story of friendship and love for your friend Jean, and creating this beautiful basket for the Pinking of You auction. We appreciate that very much. So you've heard a lot tonight about why it's important for us to hold this event, why we made sure we didn't skip a beat, and the Breast Cancer Event Committee decided to have a virtual event. We can't say no to women who need our help. And as you've heard tonight, during this time of pandemic, where people are losing their jobs, families are stressed, we want to be able to ensure that when a woman comes to St. Vincent's and to the Swim Across the Sound and the foundation, that we are there to help her. And that can be in a variety of ways. But you know, imagine that you've got a diagnosis of breast cancer, now you have to worry about paying your mortgage. If you want to contribute, in addition to a basket that you might have purchased, go online and make a $1,000 donation, and that will help us pay a mortgage for a family who is suffering through cancer treatment and needs those resources. Or you heard Dr. Zelkowitz talk about the cold cap treatment. It might not work for everybody, and so we want to be sure that if a woman needs a wig, we can help her with support for a wig. And so a $250 donation will actually pay for a wig for someone who needs one. The oncology programs that we offer in terms of acupuncture and yoga and meditation, those are many things that aren't covered by insurance. We know that they work. We have an art therapy program. Those are all ways to help a woman get through her cancer treatment journey, and they're important for us to continue to support. And so if you're out there listening and one of these things touches your heart, then please go on to the website and make a donation. There are women out there who truly will appreciate the fact that you were so generous tonight. I told you about Gigi Burke. I don't know if Gigi's able to see this, but Gigi was a big part of the breast cancer event for a long time. And the Aquarian Water Company made that decision to sponsor an award in her name. And we're really pleased to introduce you to Carol Cagdis. Carol is the recipient this year. I had a chance to talk with Carol back in June about her cancer survivorship. She's a cancer survivor herself. She's a Swim Across the Sound volunteer. She supports this event, and it's with real pleasure that we award Carol the Gigi Burke Award this year. Let's watch Carol's story.
I am a nurse, and my family would tell you that I was a nurse from when I was born. I enjoy helping other people and giving back. I worked in the CCU and the telemetry units, and just loved the people and loved the atmosphere. It always felt more like a family, people taking care of each other. When I went back to school to become a nurse practitioner, I did my clinical training at the Family Health Center. And I also worked there for a period of time. And I was able to see the funds really helping individual people. I have one story that I'd like to share about a young woman who was maybe in her late 30s who had very extensive breast cancer and had 2 young daughters. And I was involved in a support group with the practice that I go to for my treatment. And this young woman had the most wonderful positive attitude, but really struggled financially. And the money from the swim was able to help her with bills, but also with counseling for her daughters. And she was so grateful for that. I am now mostly retired, so I have time for the first time in my life, and to be able to volunteer is, to me, a real gift. I volunteer not for the notoriety or for awards, but because it personally helps me. But perhaps I will encourage other people to also volunteer their time.
So we're getting ready to close our event tonight. And as we do so, I'd like to share one last basket with you, and I've got some friends that are going to join me in a minute. So please indulge me while I share Jennifer's Journey basket. I created this basket for my sister-in-law, Jennifer, who passed away in 2013 from breast cancer. Jennifer loved the beach. So inside here there's some memorabilia that is about the beach. There's a starfish, a glass starfish. She loved pinks and purples, so I knitted a comfort shawl. So on a night like tonight, when it's cold and dark and stormy and you want some comfort, you can put Jennifer's Journey comfort shawl on. I also put in a candle for peace. And this necklace that I've been wearing all day, not all day, all evening, I designed and made. It's labradorite, which is a healing stone. It's pearls for the beach, and there's a crystal quartz for transformation and some earrings to go with it. It just represents for me a great memory of a wonderful woman who loved her family, she loved the beach, and I hope it speaks to you. As we close tonight, we just want to thank you, first of all, for being with us. This has been a strange and wonderful experience this evening, and we hope you enjoyed it. On behalf of St. Vincent's and the Swim Across the Sound, we want to thank the committee who put all of this together. We want to know that we want you to know that you can trust St. Vincent's with your care, that we're privileged to serve you. And we also want to make sure that if there are people out there that need assistance, whether it's a woman going through breast cancer, whether it's a family that needs financial support because someone in their family is going through cancer treatment, that St. Vincent's, Hartford Healthcare, Swim Across the Sound, the foundation is here to help. So please, if you can hear my voice, we have some messages for you. We talked to you about mammos. We asked you to be sure that you told people to swim is there for them, and we're asking you to continue to contribute. The silent auction is open until 9 o'clock. I'm going to ask the people that have been in the room with me tonight, some of you have already been up on the camera, but the rest of you come on. We're going to put our masks on so you can see them all. And as we put our masks on and come and say goodnight to you, please remember that our COVID numbers are rising, and masking, making sure that you social distance are so important. So come on in, everybody, so that we can see you all. Members of the committee, people you have met, everybody, we appreciate so much the fact that you spent 45 minutes with us tonight of a very beautiful night. We appreciate that you will hopefully spend a little bit more time perusing the auction site. Here you come on. Perusing the auction site and donating so that women in our community can receive the help that they need. Thank you all so much. Sending you all a virtual hug and good health to you. Good night.